What is poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. This is a film review. I watched a movie last night with my girlfriend. We sat in bed, ordered Wagamama, and we watched a movie. God damn, we actually watched a movie. And we watched The Proposal, which is on Netflix, and I do believe it is currently the top 9th movie here in the UK. So we watched it, and I'm going to be honest, I quite enjoyed it. I am taking a break from anime right now. I just wanted a little bit of break to give me some more time to finish this next series, which I'm watching, so that I can get a review up for you guys. But let's take a look at The Proposal. So, let's get into the story. It is a pretty simple story, and a very predictable story, and a story that's been done quite a lot. It is a love story, but it's also a comedy. It's got Ryan Reynolds. We love Ryan Reynolds here on the channel. And with Deadpool 3 coming out later this year, what better time to start watching Ryan Reynolds movies, with the year of Ryan Reynolds being this year. So, when New York editor Margaret faces deportation, she convinces her assistant Andrew to marry her in return for a promotion. However, when she visits his hometown, it changes her in many ways. So, this boss is considered like a witch, like a bitch. No one likes this head editor boss, Margaret, and Andrew's been working there pretty much his whole life, trying to get a promotion, and his family lives in Alaska. It's his grand's 90th birthday this weekend, but again, she won't let him work, and she fires someone. She then goes into the head boss, like, you know, the big overlord of the company, and yeah, she gets threatened with deportation because she didn't file some, you know, reports early enough. Like, she didn't fill in these files quick enough. So she's being faced with deportation. So her assistant walks in, and she gets the bright idea to be like, hey, we're getting married, so you don't have to deport me. I can stay in the country because I've been married to this man. And they then go to the deportation office, I don't really know what it's called, and immigration office or whatever, and try and file for a marriage and say, hey, I'm getting married, so you can't deport me. And then this guy's like, hey, you're only doing this so you're not going to get deported. I got my eye on you. There's going to be procedures. I'm going to ask questions. And if you don't answer them correctly, if your stories don't line up, you're being thrown in jail and you're being sent back to Canada. So we then have them go to their grandma's 90th birthday to tell the family that they're getting married. Yay! Marriage time, proposals, let's go! So they then go to Alaska, and they are always like bickering, a lot of sarcasm going on, and her life gets flipped upside down when she goes to Canada. There's no computers, there's no cell service, there's no nothing, and she has to live with the grandma who does random sort of tribal dances in the forest with a campfire. They have to live in a massive-ass mansion because their family owns like half of the fucking stores in this like sort of area, this little village, this town. They're like the biggest family in the village, and everyone knows them, and everyone gets on the boat to go to their special island where their house is. Their dog is fucking adorable, by the way. I fucking love that dog. He reminds me of my dog Coda, and he's fucking gorgeous. And anyway, we have a lot of falling out. The family taking them on, like, adventures, going out, you're seeing strippers, going to the bar, getting the dress ready, saying that they should have the wedding there on the grand's 90th birthday, which is wrong. You shouldn't do a proposal. You shouldn't have a wedding on someone's birthday, on a holiday, because then your anniversary isn't special. Everyone will be celebrating their birthday while you're celebrating your anniversary. It's not fair, it's stupid, and you should pick your own special day, which you two agree on, to have your wedding, to have your anniversary. But anyway, they start getting married, and her dad, no, not her dad, his dad is like, hey, I want you to stay here, work for, like, you know, take over the company, and not be a stupid little editor in New York. He says no, so guess what his dad does? Calls the immigration guy, who then goes to the wedding and makes sure it's official. However, she can't do this. She thinks, you know, it's an awful decision. She doesn't want to ruin his life. She doesn't want to ruin his chances. So she admits to the immigration man, goes back to New York, takes her stuff away. The grandma fakes a heart attack. He flies back to New York and tries to, well, marry her again. They go back to the immigration office, and they actually want to marry each other this time, because after all this, they actually do love each other, and they do want to be together forever. And that's where the movie ends. I am going to be honest. This movie had so many funny jokes. It had me laughing all the way through. The jokes actually landed. Ryan Reynolds' sarcasm. He's always quick on the ball. He's always on point. Ryan Reynolds is like a guy who loves to like improvise and sort of make stuff up on the fly as he's sort of going through the script. And that just makes it so much more funny. It makes it so much better. And there was a lot of I don't know. I feel like he touched her ass quite a bit, which I don't know if that was like intentional, like by him or by director. It just seemed a little bit weird. That was the only issue I really had. They kept touching the lady like a lot, and I didn't see why they had to do that. I don't think touching her for a quick laugh was that funny, to be fair. However, the other jokes where she was trying to feed the dog to a falcon was quite funny. This film had me fucking laughing all the way through it, and had my girlfriend giggling as well. We were both laughing, both having a good time, and it was genuinely one of the best films that I've ever seen. I understand the hype now. I was watching it and I'm like, shit, that's where the gift's from. That's where the gift's from. This has like so many gifs and memeable moments that I didn't even know were from this film. And now that I've watched it, I know it's from the film. So this film is a fucking masterpiece. We got memes. We got gifs. We got fucking Ryan Reynolds. And so much comedy, and it's funny. It is actually funny. It had me giggling. The jokes landed. None of the jokes really sort of didn't make me laugh, if that makes sense. Like, none of the jokes really missed, except the one which I mentioned earlier. So, in that aspect, I thought it was really good. It's a comedy movie. It actually is comedy. It's funny, which some comedy movies aren't really funny and just get like a quick little nose breathe out from me, like, you know, like a little LOL laugh out loud thing. You know, when you type LOL, but you just, like, breathe out your nose sort of slightly. Yeah, stuff like that. But this actually had me, like, actually laughing. I was laughing out loud. I was actually giggling. And the plot, again, was quite basic, was quite predictable. As soon as the film started, I was like, right, they're actually going to fall in love by the end. They're actually going to, you know, enjoy spending time together and actually want to marry each other. And I was sort of predicting things, and I was correct most of the time. There was a couple of things that I was wrong with, which I was actually surprised at. So it did still catch me off guard a little bit. It did still catch me a little bit, you know, confused and sort of surprised. So it did get me with the surprise factor, which I wasn't really expecting. The set designs were, again, quite basic and quite boring. Most of the sort of movie was set in this office or a little village. So there's nothing really exciting scenery-wise. It did feel quite bland in that aspect. Nothing really interesting to sort of do around that area. But again, that was sort of for the plot of the film. There was supposed to be nothing interesting to do around there because of what was happening. Because of, you know, all the stuff that was going around. All the stuff that was, you know, about her having her life flipped upside down and them bickering with each other and arguing and fighting and just being overall not nice to each other. Let's put it that way. And that's pretty much the film. That's everything that I have to really say on it. That's my 2 cents. I would watch this film again, so I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't like the world's greatest film. I will give it that. I felt like the story was a little bit bland, but for a comedy, it did it in its own unique way. It took this story, this sort of they don't love each other to they do love each other sort of story, and they made it their own. They made it this special little thing. I'm not sure if it was the first time the story's ever been done, or if it's like the 50th time the story's been done, but I know this story has been done quite often. I've seen it been done quite often in other movies and other situations, so I feel like everything is sort of ripping on this, if this was the first one, or if this is like the most popular example of this story. But other than that, there isn't much else to really say. So if you do like my content and you do want to see more from me, please go do check out the other sort of videos that I have on the channel. I do other film reviews, anime reviews, show reviews, series reviews, sort of everything like that. I do game reviews as well, and I do other reviews, and I build Lego, play Xbox, play some games. If you're interested in any of that jazz, please stick around on the channel, smash that subscribe button, and take your pick of what you want. We are a variety channel here. If you're not a fan of YouTube and you would prefer to watch some TikTok, scroll a bit on Instagram, go a little bit on Twitch, see some live, have some interactions with me, please do check out the link in the description, which will take you to everything else that I have to offer across all of the social media platforms. It's a little harmless self-promotion, shameless self-promotion done. I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all in the next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and stay home and stay safe. Bye-bye now.